Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And got a good one for you today. I am at Crystal Cove State Park. This is the place that's got all those cottages that you can rent right on the sand. Just a very cool spot. It's right between Corona del Mar and Laguna Beach. I don't know why, but I feel like there's some impending doom. Just something is waiting to break right now in the economy. And before I get into it, I have a good one for you today if I didn't say that. But please do not forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to join our email list, the link is below. And there's Patreon if you want more exclusive content from me. But let's get into it. All these research groups step forward and they share what's going on in the economy. The Stifel Group interviewed over 700 executives and said, where do you think the economy's at? And this is a great research report because 97% of the people, 97% of the executives that were surveyed said we're either in or heading towards a recession right now, and that things are bleak right now, to say the least. Now, when you hear that, we keep hearing about all these different problems around the world. China has a huge real estate problem around the world. Now, when I say that, people are going to say, oh, Dan, I could care less about China. What's going to affect China, guys? Whether you want to see it or not, it's going to affect us. 1 in 5 young people in China in their 20s cannot find a job right now, guys. Manufacturing is bleak. Manufacturing is being shut down all around China. Energy is being rationed around China. And again, guys, how does that affect us? Because they make so much of the stuff that we buy in our country comes from China. Whether you want to agree with it or not, it's unfortunate because we should be making more things here in the States. It's that simple. Now, with that being said, we are seeing problems around the world, but mainly here. And as far as the economy is concerned, there's a mass amount of evictions that are happening right now. You've got evictions, and I'll go through this a little later with you, but evictions are back, guys, and they're back in a huge, huge way. And what's going to happen next is going to be the foreclosures, because you're finally having landlords kick the people out that didn't pay. The money for the rent relief and rent moratorium money and rental assistance is basically dried up. And there's some states and cities like Los Angeles that are trying to mess with this and play games with it, but it's only going to delay things a little bit because they're going to find out these are unconstitutional and they're going to kick people out for this. Now, the eviction numbers are absolutely staggering. When you hear these numbers, you can't just blow these off and say it's no big deal, because the numbers are just staggering. And I want to cover, some of the top cities and the top states and tell you what these figures are, because it's mind-boggling to think about this. So listen to this. The top cities right now for evictions: New York, since March 15th, 138,000. Houston, 106,000. Phoenix, Arizona, 101,000. Las Vegas, Nevada, over 82,000. And Dallas, Texas, over 60,000. Now again, guys, absolutely mind-numbing numbers right there. Really are. They're just huge. Now, this floored me because state by state, you would think that it would be all these states that are financially upside down, but they're not. They're kicking the people out in these decent states. And listen to this. These are the top states for the evictions. Indiana's number 1, 118,988. Missouri, 61,452. Connecticut, 25,314. New Mexico, 21,000. Minnesota, 19,754, and then number 6 is Delaware. Now, guys, those numbers are huge. Those aren't rookie numbers, guys. Those are very serious, and we're gonna see this thing just explode from there, you're going to see the banks have to deal with the foreclosure numbers. By the way, this place is absolutely stunning. You've got the cottages you can rent this way, but when you go south and you go towards Laguna Beach, you've just got these cliffs that the only way to get here is to walk here. There's no cars, there's no trail, there's nothing on this side of the beach. And it's just beautiful, but it's really not, you don't have the massive waves. You get the families out here, everybody's taking pictures and just having a good time. But it's just an absolute stunning space to be out here. And again, I always tell people, what can you do for free right now? What can you do to have fun that's not going to cost any money? Because, we're seeing, businesses go out of business left and right. Cineworld, which is the world's second largest theater chain, is going to go out of business. They're going to file bankruptcy. People are not going to the movies, and the movie-going experience has been crushed. People are streaming more often. And again, I hate watching movies on TV. I hate watching movies on my phone. I can't stand it, okay? But, Scott Walters recommended a movie, and I got it, 99 Homes, and I had to watch it on my phone to see this thing, but it was unbelievable. The story about the evictions are something that's going to come back and come true again for all of us. We're going to relive that. But people are not spending the money to go out to the cinemas like they used to. Just not. And you can sit there and talk about how bad it is and all that stuff, but man, it has just completely destroyed the movie-going experience. What's next, guys? We got a joke last month about how BMW was charging $18 for their heated seats, and you get to pay $18 a month for this. Well, GM, Toyota, all these other car companies now, and the stories below, is talking about how they're going to charge you more monthly for access to your automobile. And that's insane, guys. When you buy a new GM car, you have to have OnStar, which is their push-button emergency security thing. Hi, OnStar, what's your emergency? That's $1,500, guys, added to the price of your car. And you have to buy it now, okay? So you're seeing ridiculous things, added to the car with things like cruise control for $12 a month and all these nickel and diming, because the future of everything that Elon Musk set up was to have people pay continually for the car. You can buy a car, you don't own the car. No, you want to use the car, right? Well, you're going to pay us for that forever to use the car. And it gets to a point that it gets ridiculous, and you have to look at this because Toyota's doing this, and all these other car companies that never thought about that are doing this right now. And it just makes it completely impossible to buy a car outright and not have, and write it off and not have the expense of that. That's insane. So the dynamic of this world, this is changing. This is ever changing all the time right now. And you've got to get ahead of this right now, because as businesses begin to suffer more and more and more, you're going to see more and more and more craziness around us. Now, I want to give you an example. 2 articles below talk about Facebook and how Facebook is firing people and letting go of people. But how about this? Facebook is getting rid of people by AI, okay? So, hey Ted, your attitude. The computer picked up on that you weren't happy. Goodbye. And they're instantly letting people go based on the AI. Now, we've all had bad days. We've all had attitude. And my daughter calls it, Dad, you go to default a-hole pretty quick sometimes. And okay, so I guess I would get fired from Mark Zuckerberg's, company. But again, how do you maintain loyalty? How do you maintain synergy? Have you ever worked in a company with a lot of people? Because you have all these different personalities. I've met IT people that are the worst social people in the world, but they're the most brilliant people in the world. And you cannot speak to them. You cannot talk to them and have a conversation. How was your week? What did you have for dinner last night? That's difficult stuff for these people. But if you want to break down why your computer isn't working and why the website's down, these guys fix it, olé, it's done quickly, okay? But to communicate with them, no, not a chance. This is happening more and more, but Marky Mark's firing everybody from Meta, Facebook, whatever they're calling themselves this week. This is just absolutely beautiful out here. Overcast and just utterly just amazing out here. We are seeing inflation higher than we've ever seen it. And we're finally starting to see countries get honest with us about how bad this is. Germany, their producer price inflation, which last month was sky high, it was over 30%. They just announced that their producer price inflation, which is wholesale inflation, the stuff that people are buying stuff to make things, is at 37.5%. It went up 5.2% in the last month, guys. That's insane, guys. And again, I appreciate Germany's honesty. Bravo, Germany, for telling the truth. But if you don't think that we're going to see this at a theater near you, you're nuts. Shadow Stats, they're talking about what our real inflation is, about 16.5%, which would make it much higher than the 70s is. So, again, guys, gas can drop a little bit. You're seeing food prices go through the roof. I was at a grocery store today, and things are just through the roof when you're spending $3 for a yogurt. It's nuts, guys. It's absolutely nuts. Fruit prices are through the roof, and everything else is nuts. Now, I was talking to people that work at the store. Yeah, we're trying to get things that people buy and get them on sale. Well, that works because it gets people in the store, but they're still going to buy the other stuff. That's sky high. So, please, share your thoughts on this stuff so far. I'll get some more shots of this beach because this place is just stunning, guys. It's just absolutely amazing. Let me know what you guys are thinking right now. Now, when it comes to the stock market, one thing that we're seeing is that the bear market could go into 2023. Well, again, what are you talking about? The stocks are back up. Everything's great. Things are going to turn around. We don't have a problem with the stock market. Okay. Nothing goes up in a straight line. Nothing goes down in a straight line. And a lot of experts, read the article below out of Yahoo Finance, talking about how the bear market for stocks could last well into 2023. Now, here's what nobody wants to talk about. Nobody wants to admit, and nobody wants to do, and that is to bear down, be frugal, cut back. Oh, that sounds boring, Dan. That sounds awful, okay? Guys, I live in a budget, okay? I go out to dinner whenever the heck I want, okay? You know why? Because I can afford it. And because I also plan for it. It's not because I'm squandering money or just spending willy-nilly. No, it's because I have a budget. I have a number that I can spend every month to go out to restaurants. And you know what? Rarely do I hit that right now. So you need to live this way, and you'll be much happier when it comes to your finances. You need to understand what the new wealth is going to look like. Let me explain it to you guys. Everybody thinks it's a McLaren and a Rolex and the speedboat and the bitchin' house. No, it's not, guys. It's being debt-free, okay? Being debt-free, having no bills is going to be the new wealthy, guys. I had somebody write me today that was dejected, that was down. They had a divorce 10 years ago, but they're trying to get themselves back on their feet, and they just have never been able to make money renting a place, and they're on Social Security now. But you know what? The guy's making it, and the guy's paying his bills right now. And again, he needs a side hustle, he needs a side gig, he needs something to do that would make him some side money. And every time I give this advice, I look at people and just say, you don't understand. It's peace of mind. It's freedom. It's to put your head in the pillow at night and not have the creditors pounding you for money. It's to be able to live and not have to worry about, oh my God, I got to make my $14,000 on my house payment. Okay? This area is filled with people that look rich, and they are anything but, okay? They are tapped out to the extreme. And if they lost a paycheck or two, it would be over for them. And that's what people need to look at. No bills, little expenses. Again, I know a guy who was retired. His wife still works. He doesn't work. Wants to get a job working as an usher at the stadium because he likes baseball. He likes hockey. He likes doing things like that. And because of his age, he'll probably be a senior person doing that. And guess what? He'll work 4 hours a day, and he'll meet people, talk to people, and make a little extra money. That's the type of thing that would supplement somebody's income. You know, what are you good at? Sell a book, write a book, do something. But I'm telling you guys right now, the economy is changing. The world is changing. They're going to fire you because of an AI program. Guys like me would be booted out the first day, okay? And, you know, we've talked about this, okay? I know a lot of successful people that have been fired from jobs. I don't know of anybody who is successful that wasn't fired. How about that? Let me put that one out there. But now it's the type of thing that your attitude, your demeanor, the way you're looking, the way you're walking through the hallways, if there a camera picked up on it and they kicked you out of the company for that, God, how awful is that, guys? What kind of job security is that? It's not. So find a gig that's going to make you happy. Find a place where you have to realize that you don't have to work 7 days a week to keep the wolves away. That's wealth, guys. It really is right now. You know, it really is. And the greatest thing that ever happened, my brother, I'm telling you, put me on a budget. This is how much money you make. This is where you can spend. This is where gas is. Now, gas has gone up, so the budget had to go up for gas because of the nonsense with that. But it got adjusted, and I still don't spend over that for gas, guys. I don't spend more than that for anything right now. So, look at this, guys. It is just getting worse and worse and worse. And we haven't seen anything yet. San Diego County, last month. San Diego County has always been a barometer of where the real estate market is at for the middle class because it's a higher end city. There's some really expensive places. You can go to La Jolla and you can get $25 million houses on the water. I've been in them. They're beautiful. They're stunning. They're amazing. Okay? But it's an upper middle class county overall. It's got its low end areas like every place else. But that area right now, think about this. In July, took a 41% hit on the sale of houses right now. Okay? If that doesn't tell you something, what, they're idiots in San Diego? They don't know how to buy real estate? No, guys. This is the shape of things to come, and you're going to see this. Now, here's the thing. Condos have gone down 17% in sales. Usually condos are the last to appreciate. They're the first ones to drop in price. But the problem with condos, especially here in California, you've got association fees along with that. You don't just get to buy a condo, live in it, and not have any bills. It's like the people that go and say, hey, I'm going to buy a mobile home and sit in the mobile home park. They will raise the rent on these mobile homes like nothing you've ever seen. I know people that are fighting because their mobile home space rentals went from $1,000 a month to $1,900 a month. And again, if you're on a fixed income, how do you swing the extra $900? It is costing the average family right now $5,000 extra a year to live. Where do you get the $5,000 from, guys? Tell me where that $5,000 is coming from. Okay? Because I don't know. I really don't know. $2,000 a year of that alone is gasoline. Now, winter is coming. People keep writing me and telling me about how bad winter's going to be this year. Guys, as I look towards this. Winter's going to be bleak this year, guys. And with winter being bleak, it means that people are going to spend more for energy right now. I want to show you guys a couple things real quick as I'm walking here. Crystal Cove was built in the 20s, and these were individual cottages. Then the state took it over. There was a bunch of lawsuits, dozens of lawsuits back and forth. But it took these cottages from the individuals that own them and gave them to the state parks. And I mean, it's pretty cool, guys. I mean, I've stayed in this one right here, and pardon me, I stayed in this one on the end right here. And just a cool place, guys. You're on the water. It's insane. And anybody can rent these. But the cool thing is if you have any type of handicap, you have a handicap card, they have handicap units that you can drive to. These, you have to carry your stuff down to the cottages, you park up above, they've got a tram, they bring you down, and you can park there. They have a really cool restaurant that's here. It's got good food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and it's got a bar attached to it that, regardless of the time of day, people are out there drinking, so there's that. But it's just a fun spot, and it's really reasonable, and it's just really, really just eclectic. And the cool thing about this is that they're redoing these cottages, and I think they've got like half a dozen more that they're almost finished with. And again, guys, right on the water and inexpensive. Cheaper than an Airbnb. You don't have all that stuff. Now, that's the other thing, is the Airbnbs, what a criminal act it's been with these people that have rented Airbnbs. Think about this. You go rent a hotel room and you pay the fee. You may have a scam resort fee that you can negotiate here and there. If you have a YouTube channel, you can tell them you're going to talk bad about it, and we can waive the resort fee. So that happens quite a bit. But Airbnbs that are charging people to clean the rooms after you leave, the houses after you leave, of $2,000, how fair is that? You're spending $300 a night, you're there 5 nights, and you get a $2,000 fee to clean the place up. That's criminality, guys. You're going to see Airbnbs go upside down in the next year or so when you get places like Sedona. And again, I had a bunch of people from Sedona write me since yesterday's video where Sedona's trying to pay people not to have Airbnbs in their city because they want to bring it back, to normalcy. And then I had the jerks that said, Sedona doesn't want anybody from California to go there. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm sure that's on the welcome sign to the city. So, but that's what you're seeing. You're seeing they want to get rid of this stuff, but you don't have that when you rent these cool places. So I'm going to walk up. I'm going to show you guys, get a better shot of this, and show you guys some of this. There's a bunch more stuff to cover here. Now these places have been under construction with the remodel for years, and I just spoke to the lifeguard who says that they probably have another year left until they can rent these out. But check this out, guys. Look at how beautiful this is. Got these beautiful staircases, place right there, right on the beach. Now, guys, check out how close this is. These units, this thing on the end here, that thing's gonna be huge, but you're right here on the water as the waves come crashing in. And they redid all the construction here, they redid all the decks, so you're gonna be able to take a cart up here and unload and rent these individual units. So I think that there's 12 units that are under construction right now. It's pretty cool, but again, much cheaper than an Airbnb. And look, guys, they're on the Pacific Ocean. So Crystal Cove State Park, for those of you that know the area, look at how cool it is and how they're finally getting those bottom cottages. They're finally getting them done, guys. It's just cool to see them. 10 feet away from the fence, but isn't that cool, guys? So for those of you that know this area, you guys know how cool this is. So let me get outside the cone so they don't get pissed off at me. We have a strategic holding for our country for natural gas. And we maintain a level of 5% so that when winter comes, regardless if we produce enough natural gas, we have enough natural gas to get through a United States winter. It is August. It is the middle of August, and we are at the low end of the strategic reserves for natural gas right now. This is catastrophic, guys. This is going to be a real problem, and it's just a matter of time until people wake up to this stuff. So again, a bleak winter. You should be worried when we don't have enough natural gas in August. Now, one thing I want to tell you is that these dilapidated cabins, the ones that they just remodeled, how beautiful those were with the decks, they all used to look like this. Look at that. Hard to believe, huh? These shacks that are closed, that are completely shut down, now they look like that because they remodeled and redid those. It has taken years, guys. And literally for the last 10 years, they've had a nonprofit group come together and raise money, and they have mixers and events to do this. And, you know, with the health crisis, it slowed it down, to say the least. But they're raising the money to get these things done. And again, I would sit there and say no big deal, but I've stayed in these units before, man, and it is so cool. But not these. These, no one stayed in these for decades and decades. But they're going to eventually get these things remodeled to where they're going to look like those new ones, and eventually the new ones will be open too. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. Let me know what you're thinking. It's time to be concerned about everything, and nobody really wants to. Nobody wants to sit there and say, I'm worried, okay? Because I am. I think that we're headed for, you know, an abysmal time. Powell's going to talk on Friday of this week at the Jackson Hole financial event. Needless to say, I wasn't invited to the Jackson Hole, investment leader event, and it was anybody in my audience, okay? Again, the snobs of snobs are going to Jackson Hole to talk money, and, we'll get Jerome Powell to talk to us on Friday about this. Again, I don't think that they have the average person in mind. I really don't. And, we're seeing all this stuff happen around the world with electric cars. Britain just announced that they feel that they're going to be able to have electric taxis, black cars, liveries, all that stuff in 2025. You're going to be able to hop into an electric vehicle that's going to be without a driver. I don't know what they're thinking of, because we've had nothing but problems with all that stuff in our economy. See the difference in these? See how they remodel those? How those old crappy ones look to this? Isn't that cool, guys? I mean, it just really is. They build these cool decks, they reinforce the floors, they redo the plumbing, heating, all that stuff. Because, I mean, it's beautiful. You're sitting on the beach, but anybody that lives near water knows how frickin' cold it gets at night. And just beautiful down here, though, And again, if you have a handicap card, you can rent units where you can drive your car up to them. It's the coolest thing ever. So look at Crystal Cove. But look at that big unit that they built with that, all the siding and everything on that. That's a huge unit. Everything that you rent here, they say, hey, this sleeps 6, it sleeps 4, it sleeps whatever, you can take it down to. That thing will be one of those that'll sleep like 12 because of just how many people. But what a cool place to rent, to come out, use the beach. You got the lifeguard here hanging out, okay? It's going to protect your kids. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I love stuff like this. And if you have any place that you recommend that you want me to go down to, let me know, guys. I'm going to finish this video with this last story. But before I do, please tell me what's doing well right now in the economy. What industry, what businesses, what is booming right now? Tell me what it is right now. I'll talk about it, because I can't find anything right now. Now there's onesies, twosies, there's cities doing well, certain real estate companies are still doing well, but overall, guys, things are headed in a different direction that we're not used to. Now, final story, the airline industry is an absolute joke, guys. We are seeing the fact that, on average, airlines are off 24% as far as being on time. So you're having more and more delayed flights than ever. You're having more and more canceled flights than ever. But 24% of these are affected right now, of these flights are affected, that the average person is having to deal with. Now, there's a family, flies American Airlines from Seattle to, they're going to go to Vermont to this guy's wedding, this guy's brother's wedding, Grady Hines' brother's wedding. And they land in Chicago for their stopover. And they realize their next flight is going to take them to Canada, not Vermont, Canada. So they go to American Airlines, say, can you fix this? No, nothing we can do about it. You got to take the flight to Canada, guys. The brother's wedding's in Vermont, so they had to rent a car, the story's below, and drive all night to get to the brother's wedding in Vermont. Thank you, American Airlines. Now, please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Share it with everybody. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon. Reach out anytime. Hope you guys enjoyed Crystal Cove.